Hello guys, welcome to this new presentation from FMLI. Again, we touch upon some very important aspects of financial markets that impact your placements and employability directly. Today we are going to talk on how to create a 100-day roadmap for financial market placement. Now, I use the word placement because everybody is kind of attached to this word placement. All of us, go through this 2 years of study, and at the end of it, we have companies coming for campus placement program, etc. But I would like to more talk about employability rather than placement, because placement is something which is very short term, and employability is something which is very long term that impacts your whole career. Why I have put this topic as 100 days roadmap? Because most of the students will start encountering their placement 100 days after they return from their summer internship program. So, 3-4 months in the month of September, October, etc., companies start coming to campus. And so, students who have prepared well for the last 1 year, or even those students who haven't, should go through this presentation and video to actually understand how they should be preparing in the next few days for to build their employability. Now, I assume that almost everybody, have made use of last year very sensibly. If you haven't, or if you have, then how do you collect all your thoughts? Where should you work? Where you shouldn't work? Where you shouldn't spend time, etc. We will go through this now. I see that a lot of students have joined our community very recently. Those who know me well, it's fine. Otherwise, I would like to spend 1 minute in introducing myself. I am Sameer Jaiswal. I am the founder of Financial Market Leadership Insights UK and Financial Market Leadership Institute in India. I'm also co-founder and CEO of two other platforms, fintech platforms, which are doing very well: TaxBuddy.com and FinBingo.com. We established this company about 7 years back, and now TaxBuddy is the biggest brand name in India as far as online tax return filing and tax compliance is concerned. But the whole business of building TaxBuddy is more about building platforms and how to build traction, how to build business, etc., which is extremely useful from any perspective. Okay, although this has become very formal, I would like to more you to remember me more as mentor and teacher of financial markets for students and practitioners. One of my books that I wrote and published many years back is in the university of many universities worldwide, and because of which a lot of students actually communicate with me, connect with me. Those who are doing their masters, PhD, etc., I help them do their dissertation, etc. So I want you also to remember me as a mentor and guide for or teacher of financial markets. About 15 years I have also taught in Symbiosis Institute of International Business, and also in Mumbai in NL Dalmia, which is very famous for finance. And why did we set up Financial Market Leadership Institute? Because I saw that students need a tool, a vehicle to raise their employability in financial markets. A lot of students want to get into top 10%, 20% of financial markets, whereas they don't have the right tools, vehicle, and the right kind of guidance. So Financial Market Leadership Institute, we have included the word leadership deliberately to put you top there at leadership position. This session is particularly important. And why is this important? Because placement sets the direction and tone of your career and life. Pay is very important, right? So after 15 years down the line or 12 years down the line, are you going to be in the 1 crore, 1.5 crore pay bracket, or whether you will be in 30-40 lakh pay bracket will be completely dependent on how you start behaving and how you start preparing right now, and how you start working once you hit the job market. Okay, your position in society, social stature, work-life balance, the quality of work, quality of career, everything is dependent on how you are going to conduct yourself in the next 100 days or 120 days, till you hit your placement. And in the first 1 or 2 years when you start working for the company, your commitment, your work culture, okay, how do you adapt yourself, how do you adapt to the whole learning process after you join the job, etc., is going to set the tone of your career. Now, I would like to talk about something very interesting. I have personally headed recruitment exercise for many years for one of the leading institutions that I was employed in. So every year we used to go out for campus placement program to recruit about 1500 students. And so we used to make small groups of recruiters from our HR team and also from our money market team or stock market team, etc., loans team or NBFC team within the group itself. And I used to head the activities of recruitment. So this group used to, we used to create a schedule, and then once the schedule was created, we used to hit various campuses. Now, believe me, every day we had a target of recruiting, say, 100 students or 150 students on a daily basis. So, in one day, if we visit two campuses, then we had a target of recruiting, say, 50 students from one particular campus. Now, 50 is a very large number from a campus. It used to be 10 students or 15 students from one campus. We used to move around very important, campuses, very in A grade colleges, etc. Now, the whole thing is that even we used to be under considerable pressure to recruit students. Okay, we also had daily targets, we had half day targets. So, if we did not manage to recruit 10 students in the previous day, then the balance used to come forward, for the current day. So, we used to be under stress. And believe me, a lot of good students we used to talk to thinking that they will get recruited. But I always saw that there was a difference between the cup and lip, and they never talked in the same language as we wanted to hear as recruiters. Okay, so it's very important to be oriented. Okay, and why this used to happen, why good students used to get rejected, is because they used to lack orientation. Okay, they used to lack understanding of fundamentals. They had no vision of themselves, and more importantly, as I say that everybody does a lot of outward journey, but very few people do inward journey. They have not traversed internally. Okay, so what does this mean? It only means that you don't know very well who you are, why you have come to do MBA, and what impact are you going to create in financial markets. I mean, something you have to internalize, and you have to write down, okay, so that you are able to articulate very well in the in front of the interviewer. Okay, so we will conduct this video and session in two parts. First is the domain related stuff, which I'm going to talk about in this video, and then we will also do a workshop on raising your employability consciousness. It's a boot camp. We will do this in the month of somewhere around September mid. Okay, so that just before you hit placements, you get about 1 month to work on yourself and to take this internal journey along with all the domain related stuff that you anyways go through on a day-to-day basis. Okay. Now, how are we solving this problem? We are solving this problem. We are helping students improve their employability in two ways. First is in all domain related stuff. Okay, we have short term courses. We do a lot of boot camps in the Financial Market Leadership Institute Inner Circle Community, FICC as we call, and all the softer things we will do through various workshops and boot camps, especially this September boot camp that we are talking of, which is called Raising Your Employability Consciousness or Raising Your Placement Consciousness. So make sure that beyond this video, please go through the video of this particular boot camp as well. If you manage to attend, then it's fine. Otherwise, you must at least see the video. Now, I would like to put an image in front of you. There are two tracks that you need to work on. Okay, so in the green, before you are domain related skills. So, anything to do with equities, derivatives, fixed income, FX, fintech, trading, investment banking, asset management, mutual funds, etc. Things that you are expected to know, you need to work on these tracks. Exactly on what I will cover in this video in some time. And also it's very important to cover your employability consciousness. Okay, answering questions like who am I, why did I do my MBA in finance, and why not in marketing or HR, etc. What changes do I want to bring in the marketplace? Okay, how do I see myself 5, 10, or 20 years down the line? What are my strengths and weaknesses? How can I leverage my strengths and do away with my weaknesses? These are very, very important things to understand, internalize, and to be able to articulate in front of the interview panel once they are here, because we want to understand who you are as a person. Okay, and what contribution, what do you bring to the table? These things are very, very how much of emotional stability you have, what is your emotional quotient apart from your domain expertise is kind of given. We expect you to understand a lot of things in financial markets, but these are the things that are also needed, the software parts, and your total awareness and consciousness should be there. So this is part of some other video that we will make. Today we are here to only talk about domain stuff, but this is also very important. And so see you in the boot camp, raising your employability consciousness. We will do it as a part of our inner circle community meets. Now coming back to domain, okay, why are core skills of financial markets very, very important? We all know, okay, so that it's very important, because if you understand the core principles and its applications, then you can easily extrapolate them in various domains. Okay, so it's not necessary that all of us in financial markets are going to work in one particular domain. Maybe some of you will join Amazon, some will join Ola, Uber, or any other new age company like Google, etc. So these skills that we pick up here, how do we make sure that we are able to extrapolate in other industries? Okay, so if you know core aspects of financial markets, for example, if you know credit appraisal, okay, you can easily work in a bank, or you can work in a fintech company that gives loans, okay, or any peer-to-peer company, lending company, etc., or NBFC. So applications could be very, very different. Okay, but what is important is this core knowledge of how to do credit appraisal and how to disburse loans. These are two I would say primary skills amongst hundreds of other financial market skills that a student may have. If you don't understand the core, then obviously the applications also will be very, very dubious. So if you don't understand, for example, if you don't understand market microstructure, then you cannot become a trader, successful trader. If you are not able to become a successful trader, then obviously you will not be employed in, say, a trading floor in a brokerage firm, or with hedge funds, etc. If you don't understand microstructures, then you cannot build trading applications, or you cannot go ahead and build exchanges, etc. So knowing these principles is very, very important, and we'll come to that. Now, most of the students I meet have confusion between skills, trends, and fads. Okay, I will come to what are skills, what are trends, and what is fads. But I'm reminded of a very good story which I will narrate right now. In front of you, I have put two pictures. Okay, one is of Max Planck, and the second is of his driver. So after Max Planck, he was a German scientist, won the Nobel Prize. He was invited, obviously, to a lot of speeches and talks by various scientists. Now, he used to go and he used to talk about his work and research, etc. Now, his driver used to get bored, because after the 8th, 9th, 10th session, it all sounded very, very same for him. Okay, so one day while he was driving, he told Max Planck that, sir, I have picked up so much of your knowledge, okay, through all these interactions that you have been having with various scientists, that in the next session I am going to talk. Okay, you just wear my uniform, driver's uniform, and you sit in the with all the scientists. So they said fine, and so in the next session his driver actually took the podium and he started talking, okay, and he gave a full lecture which he had heard from Max Planck so many times. So in the question answer session, he was also able to answer most of the questions. But one scientist asked a very difficult question which he was not able to answer. So he said, "What? This question? I mean, it's such a easy question. Even my driver will be able to answer." So he pointed at his driver sitting amongst all the scientists, who was actually Max Planck, and he said, "Driver, can you answer this question?" And his driver said, "Yes, I'll be able to answer." And Max Planck actually answered the question very well. Now, obviously, this is a fake story. It's just an internet forward, but it holds one very important lesson. And the important lesson is whether your knowledge is self-knowledge, self-cultivated knowledge, or whether it is an acquired knowledge. So, acquired knowledge is what you hear, from someone else talking, including your teachers or peers, etc. You go to a guest lecture, and the guest lecture, for example, I am talking, and whatever you pick up from here is actually acquired knowledge. Okay, self knowledge is what you read from books, what you write down, what you internalize, what you memorize, okay, or what you retain rather than memorize, what you retain in your memory is actually self knowledge. Self knowledge one never forgets. Okay, it can come through various practicals or understanding the practical aspects. For example, I have seen that a lot of you go through MBA programs without actually focusing on practical aspects, whereas in FMLI, all our programs are very practical oriented. So when you come to for example, do a program at FMLI, I will ask you to open demat accounts. Okay, we will go through demat agreements, trading agreements. We'll go through various forms that are required to operate your demat account. A lot of students have not even seen a debit instruction slip. Okay, a debit instruction slip is like a checkbook that you write, please debit my account with 100 shares of Reliance and credit somebody else's account. Everybody has seen a checkbook for a bank account, but I believe a lot of students have not seen the demat instruction or debit instruction booklet, which is like a checkbook for shares for their demat account. Now if you do your MBA in finance, it is nobody's case that you have to see all these things and you have to understand all these processes. So this is, if you do this, then this becomes your self knowledge. Okay, so this is the difference between acquired knowledge and self knowledge. Now coming back to our principles, core principles, trends and fads, as we were talking about. So what are these three terms? Okay, and what is the point that I am trying to drive through these three terms? Principles are the core values, okay, core beliefs, or absolutely core stuff that creates financial markets, okay, or a financial market actually rests on them. So these are the main building blocks which will never change. Okay, for example, say risk return principle, okay, or modern portfolio theory, okay, or the benefits of diversification, okay, or how you value equity shares, for example. So these are things that are absolutely core, which are not going to change. Okay, so just as I am talking this in a very sophisticated camera. There is a very sophisticated camera in front of me. Now the principles of light are never going to change. Okay, will the camera change? Of course it will change. I mean, this is a nice mirrorless camera in front of me. Just 3 years back, this mirrorless technology was introduced. Before this, we had cameras with mirrors. Okay, even before that, we had point and shoot cameras. Now there are cameras with very sophisticated lenses. So have cameras changed? Yes, they have. Has the principle of light changed, or has the principle of camera or taking images changed? No, not at all. Okay, I do a lot of photography. We go back to those days when we used to develop films, etc. We keep doing that regularly, even now. I have cameras that date back about 50 years old or 75-year-old. Okay, they are this big. But can they take pictures like normal cameras today? Yes, obviously. The amount of number of megapixels is much lesser, but the principles have not changed. That is what I'm trying to drive. So what has changed? Okay, so what changes are trends and fads. Okay, what is fads? Let's first understand fads. Okay, fads are anything that changes in 1 to 3 years. Okay, so you have a new selfie camera that has come up. Previously, phones used to have only one camera. Okay, now they have two, three different type of cameras even at the back. Okay, so these are all trends. Okay, sorry, these are all fads that keep on changing. So, for example, if you pick up your phone camera, now phone cameras themselves have changed a lot, and they change every year. Okay, number of megapixel changes, the number of cameras behind. Earlier they used to have only one camera, now they have three cameras. So, what are all these? Have the principles of taking photography changed? No, there are some improvements that are happening. Okay, so these are more of fads. Okay, tomorrow maybe, who knows, every three cameras may become one camera doing everything, or it may also become five cameras. So these are all fads. Okay, so if you want to become a good photographer, what will you concentrate on? Will you concentrate on three cameras or five cameras? No, you are not going to concentrate on that. You are only going to concentrate on first, you have to concentrate on the principles of light, principles of focal length, ISO, aperture, shutter, etc. To build your photographic skills. Okay, how to frame, etc. You will not be bothered about three cameras, five cameras, etc. So who will be bothered about three camera, five camera? The scientists or the engineers sitting at Carl Zeiss or Sony, who make this sophisticated equipments. Okay, so once it is your job, you know that you are going to create trading applications, then you can concentrate on trading applications itself. Otherwise, you come down to understanding basic principles. Okay, what are these basic principles? The basic principles in trading are, orders, how trades are, how orders are sent, how orders are matched by the exchange, how it gets converted into trade. These are the basic principles. Okay, once you get employed at a particular tech firm that creates trading applications, then you can worry about the fads that are there. So what are trends? Trends are in between core principles and fads. Fads change very, very rapidly. Trends are slower changing than fads. Okay, so trends will be things that last, say, 5 to 10 years. Okay. Now, if we have to take the example in financial markets, I would say, HFT, or HFT is high frequency trading, or there are some new algos that come up every year, or there are fads in the business of algos. Algos also, there is algos also go through various life cycle. Okay, so one algo that works today may not work tomorrow, or may not work after 1 year. So these algos are trends, but specific algos may qualify as fads. Okay, if you talk of options trading, some option strategies will work at a particular time, some may not work at a particular time, so you have to constantly tweak them. Okay, so these are all in the category of fads. The basic principles, for example, option pricing, binomial option pricing, or some other Black and Scholes option pricing, etc. They are core. They are the core principles. So if you understand pricing, then you can build various apps and you can do various strategies on that. If you don't understand options, or if you don't understand options pricing, then you are in a problem. Okay. So I hope by now you have understood the difference between core principles, trends, and fads. Now, why do students run after fads, or why does the entire market run after fads? It's simply because fads actually have the maximum monetization capability. Okay, you cannot make a lot of money at the core principles. If core principles actually made money, that then professors actually would be the richest people around, but that's not the case. We all know. Okay, it is stock brokerage houses, CEOs, and founders, co-founders that make the maximum money, and then these trading applications, Binance, or there are so many other applications in the world of crypto and stocks, etc., whose founders have made money. So it's a very clear thing. To be able to make money, you must know what are the fads. Okay, but the whole thing is that you cannot work in the fad zone, or you cannot make money unless you understand the core principles very well. Okay, all these promoters of various apps or exchanges or various platforms, they know the core principles very well, otherwise they will not succeed. So if you want to get into leadership level, you have to understand the difference between the core principles, trends, and fads. Okay, so everybody is busy with fads, nobody is busy at core principles. So only people who understand the core principles will be able to succeed in the fat zone. Otherwise, you can keep working as an employee or at the lower end supporting these apps, and trying to just create small innovation here and there. You won't be able to create substantial innovation unless you understand the core principles. Now coming back to college again, the problem that is encountered usually, even when I go as a recruiter, is that we want to understand how much of core principles you know as a student, whereas all you have to offer is trends and facts. So we talk about principles and you only talk about trends and facts. We talk about principles, you talk about trends and facts. Okay, so for example, if you want to compare two portfolios or two fund managers or asset managers, I see a lot of students want to work in the asset management industry, but if you ask them to compare performance of two funds, they cannot talk beyond CAGR. Okay, if you talk about Sharpe's ratio, or if you want to understand, which mutual fund has, which fund manager actually has performed better between two or three fund managers, if you give the result or if you give the portfolio variance and standard deviation, etc., they will not be able to calculate and tell you. And these are the basic principles on which actually your career is going to be based. So if you don't understand, I'm not talking of formulas of Sharpe's ratio or Sortino ratio or Trenner's ratio that I'm talking of. I'm not talking of formulas. You can mug up the formulas, but the core principles why in Sharpe's ratio standard deviation is used, and say for example in Trenner's ratio why beta is used. Okay, there are different philosophies behind these two formulas and these two approaches. The important thing is to understand the philosophy. If you understand the philosophy, then it's okay if you don't remember the formulas. You can always go back to books and you can check the formulas. But if you don't understand the philosophies, then you will not be able to apply them. Okay, so leave alone working for asset management industry, if you don't understand and talk about these things in the interview, you are not going to be recruited. Or if you are recruited, then perhaps they will, in the asset management industry there are a lot of relationship management jobs or sales related jobs, you will perhaps be relegated to one of them. Okay, so applying first is understanding the principles, understanding the philosophy behind it, and applying these philosophies to participate in the fads of that day, okay, or that time, is very very important. Okay, so now we come to the roadmap, the core subject of today's presentation. Why is this roadmap important? Because you have to align all your energy, okay, all your thought process towards this particular goal of getting placed. And when I say getting placed, I also mean getting placed at a good company that you deserve and desire, that we always talk of, and that is at a good position and good salary. Okay, that is very important. Now, most of the students I interact with actually want a quick solution. Okay, what is this quick solution? They want something in 1 year, sorry, 1 month, 2 month, 3 months time, because we don't have much time. Once you, I've seen that most of the students, they become serious only after they go through their internship process. Once they do their internship at a particular company which is reputed large, okay, or with a good brand or with very good peers, even if it's a small company or a startup, if your peers have been good or if your guide has been good, you understand where you stand, okay, and you understand that there is a big gap between your current knowledge and understanding and what the industry expects and where it operates. Okay, so then the rest, 1 year you want to fill the gap, your second year, or if you're in graduation, then the third year. But problem is companies start coming only after 3 months, 4 months. So you don't actually have full 1 year to cover this gap, and the placement committee and everybody is in a hurry. Okay, you are always, there is a frenzy around companies coming, so you only really have about 3 months time. Okay, where you have to prepare and you have to get market ready. So when I say market ready, you also have to build on what you have understood in the first year. So I will only talk of I will only lay a roadmap for 100 days or 120 days, and what you should work and what you should not work with. Now, obviously, this also depends on your own interest areas. Okay, so for example, if you want to do investment banking, then securities law is must, right? So, you have to focus on securities law. So similarly, people who are interested in banking have to focus on, say, for example, NCLT cases or insolvency and bankruptcy code, etc. If you are interested in banking, you have to undergo a particular path. If you are interested in insurance, you have to undergo a particular path. Okay. Currently, I am only talking of capital markets and financial markets as a core. So, what are the things that you need to know or do in the next 3 months? Okay, so I'm putting a image in front of you again. You need to have, it has various blue boxes, and there is a foundational box which is green at the bottom. Okay, and at the bottom I say that you have to have complete understanding of global capital markets and securities market, including trading risk and settlement life cycle. Okay, so that is where this is a non-compromise. You need to have this knowledge. Everybody has to have this knowledge, and you have to build on top of it. Okay, so on top, on the left hand side, I have something called as essential skills. Okay, which is nuances of trading, market microstructure, and reading markets, how to read markets. And on top of that, we have understanding of good versus bad in financial markets. Okay, which is basically equity research or bond research, etc. Identifying which instrument is good, which instrument is not good, which is investable, which is not investable. Then on the right, we have four more boxes that I have kept. So first is deeper understanding of instruments. Okay, then we have extension of equity sales. Then we have application of technology in banking and NBFCs, okay, or in financial markets, which is essentially fintech or all applications of fintech. And then again, on the right hand side, there is merchant banking, and the whole process of IPO, etc. Now, what is the purpose of segregating, these boxes on left and right? Left are essential skills, and on the right are skills which you can eventually pick up. Okay, so there is no need for you to start working on it currently. Okay, so this 120 days or 100 days that we are talking of, you can only focus on the bottommost part, and also the left parts which are in blue. Okay, then interestingly, you will also see one blue bar which is diagonally cutting across various boxes. Why is it cutting across? Because it impacts all these boxes. Okay, and this is very, very important. This is financial derivatives. Okay, derivatives, especially on equities, commodities, etc., where the volumes are very high in India, job opportunities are very high, and also on bonds, interest rates, and FX. Okay, so derivatives is something that cuts across everything. So I would say that your priority number one should be complete understanding of capital markets and securities market, trading, risk, settlement, the entire life cycle. And next priority should be derivatives, understanding derivatives, okay, which is cutting across all. And then third priority and fourth priority should be your trading, market microstructure, etc. And then your final priority should be understanding what is good, what is bad, which is equity research. I'll come to that. What should not be your priority right now? All the derived skills. Okay. Okay, so again I put up one more image in front of you, where I have bisected this image into two parts. So on the left are essential skills. So everything that I say as essential comes on the left, and once you master these essential skills, then you have to add something extra in it to actually come to the right. Okay, for example, and I call these as derived skills. There is no industry parlance that calls derived skills. Okay, it's a word that I have invented to just put this communication across. So for example, if you understand the business of loans, okay, and if you understand the regulations around peer-to-peer lending, then you can work in fintech companies. Okay, there is no need to go through a course in fintech. Okay, if you understand the insurance industry, if you understand insurance products, for example, if you understand ULIPs, if you understand term insurance, if you understand general insurance, then you can easily work in fintech companies that build products for these insurance related products, like for example Acco or Paytm insurance, or any other phone pay insurance, etc. You can easily work there. So you will argue that shouldn't I be aware of technology, etc.? Yes, you need to be aware, okay, but what they teach you at fintech programs are very different than what is actually needed. We will do some boot camps again in fintech area, and there you can easily understand what is needed. What is needed in technology are actually horizontals. So for example, today you need to have understanding of cloud, okay, because those days have gone where application used to reside at a mutual fund or asset management company. Now these days everything is on shared infrastructure, okay, cloud infrastructure. So you need to understand one of these, so Microsoft Azure or Google Cloud or Amazon Web Services. Now Amazon Web Services itself has various offerings, okay, so it has storage, it has computation, it has a lot of different small applications that come together to create the complete app ecosystem. Okay, so for example, a customer comes, creates his account, he gives his login ID password. Now, login ID password management itself is a service, which there are third-party tools like Auth0, etc. And you need to understand that these are third-party services. Even very small things like whether your device is connected to the internet or not, there is an application and service that you need to call, okay, which will be constantly checking whether your device is connected to the internet, or otherwise, the customer will get frustrated because he won't be able to use the app and you're not telling him that your device is not connected to the internet. So these are small technology and small bits and pieces of technology which you need to understand that they exist, okay, and so at FMLI FinTech program, we actually go through these technologies, and you need not be an engineer. Now, am I trying to sell my program? No. In fact, I'm telling you that FinTech is a acquired skill. You need not take a course on FinTech. Okay, you only need to concentrate on what is there at the left. Okay, if you are in the first year, you have ample time. Perhaps you can look at things at the right also. But if in this 100 days, please do not look at derived skills. Only look at essential skills. So while we are talking about skills, students that I interact with, I always see that they have confusion on which skill is important and which is not. Okay, we have our own skill set technology where we break down the exact skills that are needed, and then we try to we ask students to rate them on particular skills, level of skills, depending on their own aspiration. For example, here I put forward in front of you the skills that are needed to become a portfolio manager. So if you want to become a portfolio manager, then you need to understand financial market infrastructure, or you need to understand the market microstructure. You need to have very detailed knowledge of instruments, pricing, risk, macroeconomics. If you understand technical analysis also, then it's good. If you understand fixed income engineering, then fixed income engineering is almost a prerequisite to become a portfolio manager, valuation, equity research, etc. And then you need to also have some personality traits. So if you're a portfolio manager or asset manager, you need to have negotiation skills, because you need to pick up the phone, talk to counterparties, do some kind of pricing, etc. You need to have very good analytical skills, the right temperament, EQ, etc. Now, these are the skills that you need to have to become a portfolio manager. Now, if you pick up one of these skills, for example, instruments. Okay, now instruments itself breaks down to 20 different skills, okay, and these 20, each one of them can be further broken down. Okay, so you need to be I don't say you need to be a pro when you are in college, but you need to understand these terminologies and things very clearly. Okay, similarly, I have put in front of you the skills that are needed to join a treasury or a dealing room. So you need to understand again financial market infrastructure, buy and sell process, market microstructure. You need to have knowledge of instruments. At least you know if you are sitting on equity desk, then you need to understand equities. If you are sitting on FX desk, then you need to understand FX, etc. You need to also understand pricing, macroeconomics, technical analysis, fixed income. If you are sitting on fixed income desk, etc. So you need to have all these skills. Similarly, there are various skills for each kind of role. Okay, so this presentation is not about various skills that are needed. I will also publish, FMLI will publish a tool where you can come free of charge. You can map your aspiration and you can map your skills, and then you can rate yourself where you stand. Okay, one very important thing that I am trying to arrive at, which we did this analysis and we arrived at, is that the core skill that is needed across all these jobs is financial market infrastructure and buy and sell side processes. Okay, so even if you join a company like Infosys, Cognizant, Wipro, that services various banks, insurance companies, asset management companies, or investment banks, etc. I will leave out banking and insurance for the time being because our current focus is only, say, investment banking or capital market space. So, the common skill that you see across all these is financial market infrastructure and buy and sell side processes. Now, what do I mean by these? I mean that the principles, construction, design, functioning, and the interrelationships of various institutions that create the whole marketplace. Okay, so for example, exchange is the principal institution around which all the other institutions are arranged. So exchanges, market makers, speculators, members, how brokerages are constructed, the processes at brokerage houses, clearing members, clearing corporations. Clearing corporation is also a very, very important institution in the whole financial market space because it is single largest institution that is responsible for risk management and market integrity. And when I talk to students, I see that they do not even understand what is a clearing corporation. Okay, depository, people have a vague idea of what a depository is, but they don't understand what depository participants do and how they are interrelated. How a depository is interrelated with clearing corporation and how they are connected with the exchange. Students do not know. Okay, how one order that you send on an exchange, when it gets converted into a trade, it creates an avalanche of various processes that hit 7-8 different institutions. And from the point of origination of order to the point of settlement, there are so many steps that happen, but students are not aware. Now, if you are not aware, how will you work in a brokerage house, or how can you work in a technology company? Custodians, for example, are very, very big recruiters. Brokers are very big recruiters. I was talking to a student in the capacity of a recruiter. I was recruiting for a brokerage firm, and this student had done his internship in a leading brokerage house. When I asked him what is the role of a broker, he was not able to answer. Imagine, this is the state that we are in today. So he talked about a lot of things like the broker sells loans, he does mutual funds, or a lot of things, portfolio management. But that is not the core role of a broker. The core role of a broker is to solicit orders and work on orders for his customers, both retail and institutions, and get fair execution. Okay, that is the role of a broker. But he was not able to talk about that. So how do we develop these core skills that we are talking of? Advanced financial markets, according to me, is a mandatory program that everybody should take. Everybody, regardless of whether you are in first year, second year, interested in derivatives, interested in fintech, interested in fixed income or asset management, you got to take this program. We have gone ahead and crafted this one of its kind program, which I proudly say that even if you go to Harvard or Stanford, they have very good things, okay, different things, but you're not going to get this anywhere in the world. This exactly focuses on the skills that every student needs, but they don't get. Okay, and this is exactly the skills that market demands. And when market says or market men say that people don't have practical knowledge or people don't understand the markets well, this is the exact thing that they are talking of. Okay, it cultivates true leadership in you for financial markets, and it helps you get the right kind of job and prepares you for leadership roles. And this is the foundation building block for all learning. Okay, what does this program have? This has a mix of market microstructure, financial market infrastructure, and all the important buy side and sell side processes. Okay, it has principles, design, development, functioning of processes of key financial market infrastructure institutions like buy side traders, market makers, exchanges, brokerage, speculators. Okay, clearing corporation, clearing house, depository, custodian, DPs, banks, and how everything comes together. And so, are we the only place where this program is given? Yes. Bits and pieces of it we have taken from this paper called Principles of Financial Market Infrastructure from Basel, BIS, which is Bank for International Settlement. You can just download this paper and you can go through it. Of course, a lot of it you will not understand without going through this program. But financial market infrastructure, according to me, is very, very important. Okay, and this is the building block of all financial market institutions and everything that you are going to do. Okay, approximately 80% of financial market participants, okay, individuals, institutions, are all oriented towards it. But as I have talked of in my other videos, students are not oriented towards this. Students think that trading and trading related aspects of pricing is the most important thing. So everybody is crowded for trading, around trading, whereas this most important piece is actually missed out. How is this piece going to help you? Because if you understand this basic building block, according to me, this is the basic building block of financial markets. If you understand this, then you can easily apply this knowledge in all other domains. Okay, for example, if you understand order queuing and how order matching happens in an exchange, or how order aggregation happens, then you will understand how Ola and Uber actually match drivers to customers, or how Swiggy matches the order delivery person to restaurants and to the clients. Okay, depending on the location and depending on various other parameters. So in financial markets, actually, if you understand these, for example, again, if you understand the order matching algorithm, you can understand how order queuing and sequencing happens at Amazon or Flipkart. Or if you understand how market making and liquidity enhancement tools work, then you can directly apply it in fintechs or in banks or in distribution networks. Okay, if you do not understand these clearing and settlement models, for example, you cannot work in fintech. Okay, if you do not understand blockchain and its implementation in the clearing and settlement space, then you are in a problem, because blockchain is going to be the most important piece in the whole trading, risk, clearing and settlement value chain. And in fact, in one of the interviews that I had given 7 years back, I'm putting it in front of you, called The Future of Trust in Financial Markets. I had given this interview 7-8 years back to Bombay Stock Exchange in their brokerage forum magazine. My argument was that blockchain is going to replace all the institutions that work to enhance trust in financial markets, because technology in future is going to replace trust. Okay, so which are the businesses that work on trust? Your clearing house, clearing corporation, custodians, banks, even brokerage houses. They are essentially nothing but trust enhancing institutions. So if you do not understand the role of blockchain, or do not understand how trust enhancement work, and how if you do not open up the transaction value chain to understand where trust is needed, where trust enhancement is needed, then I must say that you become obsolete. Okay, even if not unemployable. You can be employed very well, but you will be employed then in a small operations kind of role. You cannot pitch for leadership positions or creator position that we talk of fondly at various places. leave alone the whole process of understanding and explaining the whole process of trading, risk management, clearing and settlement, etc. So I think this is the most fundamental and important piece in financial markets, and perhaps this knowledge is not used only in one or two domains. For example, if you want to become an equity research analyst, you don't need this knowledge. But for all other roles, okay, this knowledge is very, very important. This knowledge alone will help you pitch for 70-80% of the jobs, okay, and it's a must if you want to have a leadership position or leadership career in financial markets. Sadly, there are no books or no colleges that teach this skill, and I don't know why. I have my own theory why they have not included this in their curriculum, simply because they do not understand the value of it, and they will have to get multiple teachers to teach this entire trading, risk, clearing, settlement value chain. And according to me, this is the fundamental knowledge, how the global financial market infrastructure works, exchanges, brokerage houses, buy side and sell side, how they are connected, clearing corporation or clearing house, how they come towards doing the clearing, how are custodians connected when they do trade confirmations, affirmations, then finally what is the role of a depository or a DP in the whole process. And so even if you go to grade A institutions, they do not teach you this. And frankly, there are no books, or it's not documented very well on internet. Whereas according to FMLI, this is the most important financial knowledge that anyone can possess. Okay, and everything else is built on top of it. Now, imagine if you want to become a derivative trader, and if you are unable to calculate your own position, or if you are not able to calculate your margin or able to reconcile your margins, how are people going to recruit you? I mean, they will not take you to put you on a derivatives trading desk if you don't, for example, if you're not even able to calculate your position. So this is the fundamental knowledge, and one very good thing is that this knowledge is repeatable. So regardless of whether you work in India, Hong Kong, Singapore, or Beijing, or London, Zurich, or New York, Chicago, wherever you work, how exchanges work, how clearing corporations work, how brokerages work, how depositories work, they are all the same. Okay. Again, nuances may be different depending on the fad that particular market may be experiencing. We talked of principles and fads, but the core principles and trends are the same. Problem is that you are not able to get jobs in the US, UK, or even in India. You are not able to do justice because you don't understand these threadbare. You don't understand the internals of it. Now, if you don't understand them now, how much time will it take for you to understand? My guess is perhaps 10 years of work experience, and that too top-down work experience. You cannot join at an operations role or a role with no top-down visibility and expect to get this kind of a knowledge. Okay. At FMLI, we have created a program on this particular thing or this particular knowledge, which we call as certification in advanced financial markets. Okay, AFM program we call. I recommend all of you to at least open the brochure, download the brochure, open the brochure, and go through the course curriculum and create it as your fundamental foundational block for financial markets. Okay, don't get deterred by the word advanced. We have called it advanced, but according to me, this is fundamental knowledge that everybody should have. Okay, for first year students, we are creating a program which is even more basic, which we call as foundational financial market program. But everybody, according to me, should go through 2-3 programs to build their building blocks. Now I put another image in front of you, courtesy my wife, who's a very senior pediatric surgeon in a government hospital in Mumbai. Now this is the outline of a person, and I have put this image here to explain you one very important principle that doctors follow. Okay, so when I go to my wife and say that today I am feeling unnecessarily tired, too much tired, or I'm not able to see clearly, she doesn't send me to the ophthalmologist, okay, for my eye checkup. She says, you please check your sugar. Your sugar may be high. So everything that I talk to her, she connects back to diabetes, okay, that I have for the last 10 odd years. Now she understands that basic human physiology is actually responsible for everything. Okay, Whereas, what do we do? In MBBS, they are, for the first 3 years, they are only taught basic physiology, regardless of whether you want to become a pediatrician, pediatric surgeon, or an oncologist, or ophthalmologist, or nephrologist. It doesn't matter, what specialization you want to do. For the first 3 years, they only teach you basic human physiology because everything is interconnected. Now, the funda, the core is that even financial markets is interconnected. Okay, everything is interconnected. Whereas, what do we do? As learners, we don't understand the basics of financial markets as a core. Okay, what do we try to do? We try to specialize in derivatives, or we try to specialize in commodities, or we try to specialize in equities or fixed income or FX, without actually covering the core. Okay, so this core we always talk about as buy side, sell side, the various processes, okay, of order management, trading, risk management, how positions are calculated, how clearing is done, how settlement is done, etc. This is the core of financial markets. If you don't understand this, then you can keep on experimenting on various instruments, and you won't be able to arrive at any conclusion, or you won't be able to contribute significantly. Okay, so in this roadmap, you have to dedicate 40 to 45 days or 50 days only understanding this core. Okay, you can come to us, we can take you through this advanced financial market program, but I don't want to market this program. Even if you don't come to us, you can do self study. You can just pick up our brochure and take the course curriculum as syllabus. Okay, this program we have at two levels, level 1 and level 2. For you, only level 1 is sufficient. It's more than sufficient, but you need to understand this very, very clearly. Okay, again, students also have questions which other courses to take. Okay, so understood that this is the main core of financial markets. Okay, what more courses should I take? Should I do financial modeling? Should I do fintech? Should I do something on technical analysis side or equity research side? Please, my contention is, or my advice is, do not jump into courses immediately. Okay, stop running after courses and certification. Why? Because I saw that one of the colleges have launched a fintech program for 2 lakh rupees. Okay, what if you spend 2 lakh rupees and 1 year of your time doing that course in fintech, and you actually land in a trading kind of a role in a brokerage house, or you land into asset management? What happens to that fintech program or fintech knowledge? Okay, or you do a course in trading and you land into mutual fund distribution, or you get into, say, credit risk management, then your entire knowledge of trading will not be utilized. Of course, no knowledge goes waste, but why spend precious money and time, which is the most resources, okay, most important resource? Or you do an NISM program but land into banking. Okay, so please do not be very, very hasty, okay, in looking at or doing various programs. So a lot of students ask me if doing an NISM program or NCFM program going to help them. My answer is not much. Okay, by themselves they are very good programs. Please don't get me wrong. Especially NISM, 1 year, 2 year residential programs that they have are very good. So if you are in NISM doing these long term programs, you will get very well placed. What about others who are not in NISM and who think that doing small NISM courses will help them, or certifications? My take on this is no, because these programs are more from a market mass deployment kind of program. So, for example, if you want to become a mutual fund distributor, then you have to mandatorily do that. Mutual fund, the 2 exams that are needed to become a mutual fund distributor. I think they are called 5A and 5B in NISM. But do we really want to become mutual fund distributors? No. It's because our aspirations are much higher. We are MBA in finance, or we are, we want to aim for higher level programs. So if you just want to become a mutual fund distributor, that program is okay. I always say that these programs are more like doing, say, an ITI diploma after doing engineering or after doing MTech. Will you do an ITI program after doing your engineering or MTech? No. So similarly, please do not run after these small courses. Okay, you need a foundational program that will help you for the rest of your life. Okay, so please choose your program very meticulously. Okay, so the next in the roadmap is derivatives. Please spend about 30 days on derivatives, because derivatives, again, as I said earlier, it impacts equities, it impacts commodities, it impacts all the other financial instruments. So you need to understand derivatives very well. And again, choose this program very, very meticulously, because derivatives is one thing that only traders and people who are very well versed with technology and operations should teach you. People who understand only theory should not teach you, okay, because it will become even more confusing for you. Okay, and the program that you undergo should cover market infrastructure, risk, position computation, margining, okay, which is both your span based initial margin, mark to market margin, etc., the whole business of clearing and settlement of derivatives. It should compulsorily include that. Okay, we include all this in FMLI global listed derivatives program. Everybody teaches trading on derivatives and strategies. Please do not get pulled only by trading and strategies. You need to be a very, very holistic kind of person and understanding derivatives holistically. Okay, my emphasis is on holistic, because you cannot join an asset management company or a brokerage house without knowing how to calculate positions, or without knowing how to clear derivative transactions, or the exact role that the brokerage house or the clearing member or the custodian is playing in a derivative transaction. Okay, they will simply not recruit you. Imagine who will, again I'm coming to it, who will take you as a derivative trader if you are not able to calculate your positions or calculate your initial margin. I mean, you will bring your institution in a cash flow problem if you only know trading. Nobody will be happy with that. Okay, derivatives and holistic part of derivatives is so important that we created an institute for it. We have also founded Financial Derivatives Engineering Institute, where we have created various modular programs for buy side, sell side traders, for people who want to understand derivative Greeks, etc. And one of the programs that we have created is for management students and B school students who just want to step into a brokerage firm or a derivative trading firm or an asset management firm, or a hedge fund, because this kind of holistic knowledge is very, very important. Okay, and we try to pack all this holistic knowledge in a 30-day program, because we understand that your time is very, very critical. 30-day, 1 to 1.5 hours is what we take. Okay, we actually take you through the most important aspects of derivatives. It's a very, very holistic and complete program. And I also claim that two of our programs, Advanced Financial Markets and Certification in Global Listed Derivatives, are best in the world. Okay, I don't claim the same for fintech. I don't claim the same for asset management or for equity research, although we are trying to build those programs very, very meticulously, making it highly relevant. But these two programs are simply best in the world. Okay, so you have to spend 40 to 45 days on Advanced Financial Markets or the curriculum if you want to do it from anywhere else, or by your own, and 30 days in your roadmap you have to spend on derivatives. Okay, so what do you do with the next 30 days? Next 30 days you have to spend on equity research. Okay, equity research, or trying to find out what is good and what is bad for in financial markets as far as instruments are concerned. Lot of leverage based instruments you would have already covered in derivatives, that is my assumption. Okay, now as far as equity research is concerned, again, choose your program very meticulously. I'm not saying you come to us, you can go anywhere, but my personal belief is that both fintech and equity research is something that at this point of time you will be able to do all by yourself. Okay, this is one program, equity research, that you can do all by yourself. All of you, when you come to second year MBA in finance or BBA finance, etc., by now you have picked up these skills. So where do you start? You start with go to Berkshire Hathaway's website, okay, and go through the letters that Warren Buffett has written to the shareholders. So while doing your equity research, you can come to me. I'm trying to create a white paper on how to do equity research course by yourself. At the starting point has to be Warren Buffett and even Benjamin Graham, okay, his book on value investing and intelligent investor. You must read that book. Benjamin Graham was the guru of Warren Buffett, okay. You have to be aligned to Buffett and Benjamin Graham school of thought, although there are a lot of schools of thought, but these guys have been very, very consistent in creating wealth. So you got to be aligned. Your basic principles should start from here. And I always say that just as makeup industry spoils teenage girls even before they realize, the whole business of finance and financial markets actually pollutes individual minds who are trying to get into financial markets. And Warren Buffett, Charlie Munger, and Benjamin Graham, Peter Lynch, these are guys who actually instill the right kind of values in us. Okay, so without these values, actually, you will pollute yourself. There is no point in becoming an alpha trader without understanding all these concepts. And these concepts you can specialize and you can learn by your own. Okay, if you, my suggestion is do a top-down approach. So already, if you understand economics, understand how business headwind and tailwind impacts various businesses. Try to understand various business models, etc. And then various parameters on which analysis is done. So there are max 10 different ratios and 10 parameters that everybody talks about. Okay, so you need to be an expert on that. Precisely in 30 days time, you can complete your equity analysis program all by yourself. Okay, those who are interested in banking, although we are not experts in banking, if you have interest in banking and want to make a career, please do not come to us. We say we are only capital market focused, financial market focused. Banking and insurance, there are much better programs to look beyond us. I do not want you if you want to come into banking, but just a tip: if you want to become a banker, do not strive for smaller things like instruments or PF or PPF. Although these knowledge everybody should have, but your aim should be much higher. So what should you do? Banks are especially concerned about credit risk. So all credit risk related issues you must understand, which means banking and insolvency code you should know very, very well. Okay, NCLT proceedings you should know very well. Top cases in NCLT you should know very well. For example, as we are talking, Z Telefilms is being impacted. Last 2 years, just pick up the cases that NCLT has heard and go through its judgment ruling, etc. At our front, in the inner circle community, we will also do very, very detailed sessions on what is needed if you want to become equity research analyst or if you want to become a banker. So please be connected. Okay. One more important thing is sequencing is also very important. Which course to take? Sequencing is very important. So first, you got to do the curriculum or the content of advanced financial markets that we have. The second should be derivatives, okay, and the third should be what we call as market microstructure trading. We have technical analysis also into it, but in this presentation I say that do not focus on technical analysis. Companies do not come and recruit technical analysts from campuses. Okay, technical analysis is only good if you want to do prop trading. Otherwise, please do not do technical analysis. Charts are very fascinating, but please do not do it in these 100 days. Okay, if you have done in the first year or if you want to do for hobby, you are fine. Same is the case with fintech. Please do not try to cram fintech related things in these 100 days, because fintech is again a derived skill. Okay, investment banking, a lot of career people want to make a career in investment banking. Maximum what you should do apart from this basic knowledge is have knowledge of securities law. Okay, that will help you in investment bank. Investment banks, again, investment banking, equity research, etc. The number of job opportunities is very, very less. So please do not spend your critical time trying to chase investment banking jobs. Investment banking jobs normally go to grade A institutions, and that too they are aware of who they will recruit. Okay, so Investment banking is something that attracts the maximum pre-placement offers. Why? Because they know who they have to recruit. Okay, that is the reason why after 6 months or after 3 months of internship, they are given job offers at the time of internship itself. Okay, so this is the sequence. And also I recommend that you do not do courses which are very fine tuned within equity research. For example, a lot of students ask me whether they must do a course of investment or financial modeling. I say no, because again financial modeling jobs are very less. Okay, should you do financial analysis? Yes. Should you do financial modeling? No. Financial modeling is a very small subset of equity research or financial research. More often than not, if you join the equity research desk, you amongst 20 people doing equity research, you will have 2 3 people who will be doing investment modeling or financial modeling. But personally, please do not spend time or 50,000 or 1 lakh rupees trying to do courses on investment modeling. And same is the case with technical analysis and charting, etc. Okay, we again have we have talked of 2 programs, that is advanced financial markets and certification program, practitioner certification in global listed derivatives, which are best in the world. We have a third program called certification program in trading psychology, engineering and technical analysis. And I repeat, along with technical analysis, we have trading engineering and trading psychology. According to me, psychology of trading, creating a trading plan, implementing your trading plan is far more important skill as a trader than technical analysis per se. Okay, a trading plan you would also will also help you in brokerage houses, or if you are an algo trader, or if you work in an asset management company. But please do not spend too much time on all that. Okay, as far as fintech is concerned, I have talked about it. It's a derived skill. We will try and do a 2 day or 3 day boot camp on fintech. I invite all of you to attend that. We'll do it in October. Now, why do we do these boot camps? Because I believe that you do not need a 3 month or 6 month course in it. Okay, a 2 day boot camp is sufficient for you to arm you with the right kind of knowledge and skills that are needed to crack your placement. Once you get placed, then you come back to us to do a detailed course, or you can go anywhere to do a detailed course on fintech. So I hope this is very well understood. After 3 months, we are going to also launch a certification in practical financial markets, which is actually where I say that if you have 1 week's time, you come to us and we will train you practically whole day on how to do trading, how to calculate your positions at the end of the day, how to calculate your margin using various softwares, how to reconcile your position with the clearing corporation, etc. So it's 1 week for equities, 1 week for derivatives, 1 week for FX, etc. But this is the third most valuable program that we will have, and I think in ranking it will come to number 1 or number 2 that we have. So please be connected. My key message to you is to cover the entire value chain of financial markets in these 100 days. Only bits and pieces is not going to help. There are certain things like charting, etc., that is not going to help. And my message is to invest in yourself. Okay, also the second part that we talked of, you have to continuously work on your consciousness, your employability consciousness, travel the inward journey. Write down answers to questions like who am I, why have I done my MBA, why in finance, how am I going to impact the financial markets, all the questions that we talked of earlier and that we will talk of in the boot camp that we will do. Your 2 best friends are Business Standard and Economic Times. I get very disappointed when I meet students and they say that no, they don't read newspapers. Guys, the most important knowledge that you can ever acquire, which is also current and relevant, comes only through newspapers. Social media will not give you the right kind of knowledge because social media actually puts you in a box. Okay, so if you, for example, like trading, then social media will only keep on sending you news and items around trading, and plus they don't discuss all the core issues like the impact of regulation, what the parliament is doing, okay, what SEBI is doing, etc. Like newspapers discuss. So there cannot be any replacement for newspapers. For 2 years, you got to read newspapers. If you have not started reading newspapers, please in these 100 days. please go through these newspapers. Okay, to students who we have made sense, please give us a chance to teach and mentor you. Have a serious look at our programs, especially the two programs. This is what we do to you. Okay, your complete understanding process we will untangle, and we will give you the right kind of knowledge that will last you for your entire lifetime. You have to believe me when I say this kind of knowledge is not available anywhere. Okay, you will have hundreds of programs of derivatives you can go through, but this kind of program you will not find anywhere. It is my challenge that you can take these 2 3 programs that I'm talking of. You can just take their brochures to your mentor, whoever they are. Okay, and you can show them the content, and you can come and sit in our lectures, etc. I don't mind even if you have not paid. You can just sit in the lecture and experience yourself, and then take a decision. Okay. This is the most important program, certification in advanced financial markets, that we have. We have a lot of other short-term leadership certification programs that I encourage you to go through and take. We try to keep these programs short, 1 month, okay, or 1.5 month, maybe 1 hour or 1.5 hours every day, simply because we understand that time is very critical. You obviously have a lot of good programs that last 3 years, 4 years. For example, CFA program is very good for anybody who wants to become a financial analyst. The only problem is that it takes 3 4 years to complete your CFA program, and the pass percentage is very less. Even financial risk management program from Global Association of Risk Professionals is very good. Again, problem is it is very mathematical, like CFA. So a lot of students actually enroll, but they are not able to clear after spending a lot of money. So please go through these brochures, and again, come back to us if you have any clarifications, and if you want to go through any of our programs. Also go through the website of Financial Derivatives Engineering Institute. It is financialengineering.com, and go through all the programs. Although I would highly recommend only one of the programs that we run there, which is specifically for management students and bachelor students. This brings me to the end of the video. I hope this 100-day roadmap is clear to you. Please, all your energy, okay, and your focus is very very important. Please focus on these 100 days to build your domain expertise very rapidly, and also your placement and employability consciousness. That I would encourage you to build very very slowly, okay, because you need to understand, you need to have a journey within. So domain expertise you need to build very fast. Consciousness you need to build very slowly, but build nonetheless, because I have seen a lot of people or a lot of students who are not able to talk, or who are not able to. If I ask you today what is your strengths and weaknesses and how do you harness them, do you have a made up fake answer, or have you really taken that journey inside to understand what really are my strengths and weaknesses, and can you articulate it very very clearly, and how you are working on your weaknesses to overcome it? Okay, that is my message to you through this video. Thanks a lot. I think it's become very long, but I hope it has been useful for you. Thank you.